Welcome. In front of me is a OPPO Reno 6 Pro, and today I'll show you several tweaks and tricks you can do on this device. So we're going to begin with the probably most obvious one, which is going to be the 90 Hz refresh rate, which for some reason by default I believe it is disabled. Let me just quickly deal with the brightness. There we go. So by default, like I said, I think it's disabled. So if you want to change it, you can go under the display section, then scroll down to more, screen refresh rate, and make sure it's set to high from standard, which you do have a little animation right here, shows you kind of how it will affect the image or the screen itself. So basically when you're scrolling down, it will look smoother than it does normally, just because it's showing you more frames per second on the screen. Now moving on to the next option, it's going to be the color, screen color temperature / mode. Those are two different options, but they're both again located under the display and brightness. So you can scroll down and we have the screen color temperature. So in here you can select it. Now on the camera it doesn't look like it's changing much, though you can see some change, especially from going from cold to warm. That's one. And number two will be the screen color mode, which by default set to vivid. And to me, vivid is just a little bit too saturated, so I prefer to drop it to gentle. Now it is apparently sRGB mode, so it should be color accurate as well, more than vivid is. So that will be a little bit less saturated, but more accurate. And again, you can still tweak the cold, warm kind of temperatures to it. So if you prefer to have it a little bit warmer, then well, go for it. Now moving on to the next option, this is going to be a little bit of a hidden one and probably not for a lot of people. This is for the people that would like to use their phone in desktop mode, and as you probably are aware, for the people that might be interested in this, there is not very many devices that actually support it. One of them would be, well, something like Huawei, right? Huawei does have their desktop mode, and also Samsung has theirs. But virtually every Android 11 and also some of the 10 will come with this kind of mode built into it, though it's hidden and not as refined as it is on Samsung or Huawei. But still, if you want to mess around with it, see how well it works, obviously you will need one of these, Type-C to something like an HDMI, just so you can plug it into your monitor, an external monitor, to have this desktop mode. So when you plug it in, it will display on the monitor a desktop mode basically. But to enable this, we will number one need to navigate to About Phone. Then we're gonna go to version, and you want to select, tap on the build number 7 times. Now for me it tells me no need, you're already a developer, but for you after like 7th tap it will either give you the pop-up to confirm your PIN, pattern, password, or if you don't have it, it will automatically give you a pop-up that you are now a developer. And from there we want to navigate to additional settings and find developer options. And in developer options, just flick all the way down the very bottom, and from that very bottom you want to scroll just a tiny bit up till you see Force Desktop Mode. And this will mean that once you plug it in with conversion like this, USB-C to HDMI, the phone will automatically start displaying desktop mode onto your screen instead of just a typical phone screen. The phone will still have just a typical screen on its own here, but on the screen that it is plugged into, it will look like a desktop mode. And obviously, if you have something like this, you can also plug in mouse, keyboard, stuff like that. So let me just quickly grab my mouse. To have a little dongle right here and my pointer. So if I plug it in, there we go. Gonna connect this to the phone. Voila, so you can see it's still plugged in. Move it off the screen, let's close this. And you can see there is a mouse, and it works normally as you would expect. Now, in terms of like something like this, a mouse on your screen, if you have it in desktop mode, it will also work the exact same way. And additionally, you can use something like this for, as an example, GeForce Now for gaming, or maybe Google Stadia. You can plug in mouse and keyboard and utilize it as you would do normally for game streaming, which is again really nice. Okay, so moving on to the next option, it's going to be swipe down on home screen, and we have a couple options. Right here we have a search bar by default, but if you're like me and you don't really give a crap about the search, you can change it to, as an example, give you notification panel, which is something that I prefer to have, so I don't have to reach all the way to the top to pull it down. So to get this, you need to go into your settings, home screen, and then where is it? Oh, there we go. Swipe down on home screen and notification drawer. And now when you pull it down, as you can see, no matter how far you're pulling down, it always gives you the notification shade. So that is my preferred way of having it rather than the search bar. And moving on to the last option, it's going to be the gesture navigation. Now, as you can see, I believe it does give you the option to select one or the other throughout the setup, if I'm correct. But if it didn't, or you just want to have those buttons back, or maybe, like I said, it doesn't give you the option and it just gives buttons and you want to have gestures, whatever the case may be, to change it, you can go into the settings. From there, we're going to go to convenience tools, which is right here. And we want to go to gestures and motions. Find it. Nope, it's not in here. Is it navigation? Oh, there we go, it's navigation. And as you can see, we have the button and navigation, so these, and if you can switch it, you get the actual like gesture navigation, which you can see right now. So there we go. Now this would conclude all the tweaks and tricks that I want to share with you, and if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.